Hey, it's Lisa here. I want to talk to the guys for a minute. From like, you know, an evolutionary, anthropological, survival of the fittest kind of thing. So I'm going to try to woman's plane this in the easiest way I possibly can for a man to understand how fucking important it is for you on a soul level to address your misogyny and change it. And I'll tell you why. It literally depends on your survival as a species. So when you're looking at evolution and you're seeing species that die out over time, nature has a fantastic fucking way of culling out, getting rid of the species that are not contributing to the overall survivability of their species evolutionary, like from an evolutionary standpoint. Meaning, if you are a specific species that is not, you know, surviving because you aren't able to get enough food in your environment, eventually through time, you will die off. Okay? Keep that in mind. So, from an evolutionary standpoint, from a nature standpoint, if women are treated a certain way by the opposite sex, men, and it is a systemic issue that lasts thousands of years, there is going to reach a point in time where nature will no longer allow the bad apples, the misogynists, if we want to call them, to continue to survive because they are not contributing to the overall success of that species. And what do I mean by that? People who are misogynistic, who are, you know, believe that man is, you know, the supreme creature and women are just, you know, grateful to be in their fucking presence. Those type of people. Those type of people create a lot of negative energy for other people. Stress, anxiety, trauma. Okay? That is a bad thing to sustain over thousands of years because we as a species do not need to operate in that fear, anxious, fight or flight mentality for long periods of time. Okay? That makes sense, right? Okay, so if as a species there is this subspecies of humans who have this way of thinking, they are misogynistic, where they think that females, you know, are second, we shouldn't, you know, give them any respect or anything, any rights. What the fuck makes you think women are going to want to procreate with that type of human continually? Because from an evolutionary standpoint, at least, and also from, I guess you could say, a civil human rights standpoint, women have gained more rights over the last few years. We can purchase land, we can hold jobs, we can have credit cards, we can have bank accounts, we can own the land, we can pass it down to other people that don't have to have a penis. So we can keep our land, our assets in our names, in our lineage, however the fuck we want to do that. We don't need to be married to another person in order to have survivability in this, on this planet. We're in 2025. Women have more rights, a little more rights, to where we do not need to depend on a man. Therefore, the availability to which women can choose who they want to partner with, okay, that bar is now going to go a little higher, okay, because the people we are going to choose to be with are only going to be those people who we believe treat us the way that we should be treated, with respect and dignity and rights and all of those wonderful things that man expects automatically for himself. Okay, you following me here? Okay, keep following me. All right, so if we now as women no longer have to rely on just any man that gets out there, including the asshole misogynists, because that's all that's left and all the good ones are taken and it's slim pickings on the good ones, so we just, default marry the next best thing, and it sucks because they're a misogynist. We don't have to do that anymore, okay? We women don't have to do that. We can choose to go our entire fucking life not partnered to somebody else, okay? So the few men out there who are fucking fantastic and treat women with the respect and dignity that they deserve, those are the ones that are going to get snatched up and married really fucking fast. And all the other asshole misogynists are going to be scratching their head wondering why the fuck nobody's picking them. And then they're going to spend the rest of their fucking lives questioning why no one wants to be with them, why they were never able to settle down and procreate and continue on their lineage. Because they're assholes, they're misogynists, and society has reached a point in evolution where we no longer have to depend on all men for our survival. We can focus on the fucking phenomenal ones that we want to be with, and the others can die out naturally through natural selection. Why? Because they are choosing not to take a hard look at themselves and change themselves on a soul level, on a DNA level. What the concepts that you're conditioned with by society and in your family and by the people you surround yourself with, that is written into our DNA, and it can be passed down from generation to generation. That's why we, especially anybody who has to deal with racism, which basically if you're a human, in some extent, you're going to deal with some type of racism. You need to be able to address that. For me, it's addressing the white privilege that I have. You need to be able to fucking look that in the face and address that shit and fucking break generational cycles and thought processes and not spew the hatred on your own fucking family so that they don't grow up and do the same thing to other people, right? That's my responsibility as a white woman. Okay, your responsibility as a misogynistic asshole is to fucking change the way you look at women in general. Because if you don't, guess what? We no longer need to rely on you for our survival. So you will fucking die out. Like all the others, species who no longer serve a purpose to the evolutionary line. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you, misogynistic assholes, is that it would behoove you to fucking change for your own survival. Because it's already been proven in several studies that the male chromosome is slowly disappearing from the human genome. And that's pretty concerning. Because I believe nature is fantastic and has a wonderful way of figuring out how to continue to survive. So I don't worry about how the fuck humans are going to survive in the next million or so years, because evolution will make that possible. Come hell or high water, whether the male chromosome is part of that genome or not. So when I say it would behoove you to fucking change, it would fucking behoove you to change.